Thanks, Vicky. Morning, everyone. Great to see you and great to be here at Chelmsford Boxing Club. And I used to be actually involved in a boys and girls club in the past, and I know what an incredible job you guys do to provide services for young people. So thank you for doing that. It makes a huge, huge difference, as I've seen myself. Now, at the beginning of the year, I set out some priorities, and I always said that your priorities and my priorities are the government's priorities, and they're pretty simple, and they're behind me. It's to halve inflation, grow the economy, reduce debt, cut waiting lists, and to stop the boats. That's what we're busy getting on doing, and I'm really confident that over the course of this year, you are going to see that we are delivering for you and for everyone else on those 5 priorities. But alongside that, I also want to make sure that we have a country where all of us, our families, our kids, are growing up in strong communities. Communities that feel safe, communities that are thriving, communities that we all feel proud to call home. And strong communities are built on values. And in fact, the most important rule that we teach our kids is the golden rule, right? It's about respect. It's about treating others in the way that you would like to be treated back. And unfortunately, as Vicky was just talking about, right, there is a small minority of people who break that golden rule and cause disruption and disorder in their communities. And you know what I'm talking about. You've all seen it. About gangs gathering, being disruptive, being drunk, being disorderly, people littering, graffitiing, fly tipping. And it's not okay, right? It's not okay for our children to have to experience it, for us as families to not be able to walk around freely in our communities, avoid parks or high streets at particular times of the day. You know, that's not the type of communities that you want. It's not the type of country that we are. And that's why it's important that we do something about it. Now, of course, we're putting 20,000 more police officers on the street, and we're making great progress on that, record numbers here in Essex. But that's great. But we really want to focus specifically on antisocial behaviour, and that's what today's about. And you've got a copy of our new action plan on your chairs. But I'll just highlight what's in there for you. There are kind of 3 buckets of it. The first is that we need to make sure that we give antisocial behaviour the urgency that this subject deserves. So what we're going to do is use far more hotspot policing, where we make sure that our police target the areas that are of most concern. It's been proven to work in lots of different places. And we're going to have more use of what's called immediate justice, so that those people who are behaving irresponsibly and poorly will have to repair the damage they're causing, clear up the mess that they've made within days of that having been caught, so that justice can be seen to be done. That's what immediate justice is about. So that's about treating ASB with the urgency it demands. The next thing is to have a zero-tolerance approach to all forms of antisocial behaviour, and especially I'm talking about drugs. So what we're going to do is ban nitrous oxide, because I think all of us for far too long have had to walk through places with the canisters and all the rest of it, and that's not acceptable. So we're going to ban nitrous oxide, and we're also going to expand the power of the police to do drug testing on arrest for far more crimes and far more drugs, and tackle the scourge of drugs. And then the third thing in the plan is to give the police and local authorities the tools and the powers they need to combat antisocial behaviour. So we're significantly increasing, in some cases doubling, the fines that local authorities, councils can charge for things like fly tipping, littering, graffiti. We're making it easier to evict antisocial tenants. And we're investing more money in the provision of youth services like this, 1 million extra hours for youth clubs to provide other things for young people to do, and investing in communities to build more parks and green spaces, which are shown to have a real impact on people's well-being. So that is the plan. There's lots more in there, but that's the plan in a nutshell. We've got immediate justice, hotspot policing, a ban on nitrous oxide, more drug testing, and more investment in youth services, more investment in green spaces, and more powers for local councils. Because this is really important. I know it's important to you and your families. It's important to me and the government. And this plan is how we are going to stamp out antisocial behaviour. It's how we're going to level up across our country. And most importantly, it's how we're going to build strong and thriving communities that we are proud to call home.